idiot!
Ay, por qué, hombre? Peruvian officials said a truck driver recently plowed through Peru's world-renowned Nazca Lines, causing significant damage. The trucker, identified as 40-year-old Janer Jesus Flores, was arrested after he allegedly ignored warning signs and drove over the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Peru's Ministry of Culture said Flores' truck left deep track marks across a 164-foot by 328-foot area of Nazca Lines, affecting the surface and damaging 3 of the geoglyphs. Various sources reported that Flores said he didn't know the area because he had never traveled there before and that he left the road to change a damaged tire. However, Argentine newspaper Clarín speculated that Flores was perhaps trying to avoid paying a toll. According to UNESCO, Perus Nazca Lines were etched into the ground by the region's ancient inhabitants approximately 2,000 years ago. The lines cover an area of about 280 square miles, depicting animals, plants, mythical creatures, and geometrical figures, and was declared a World Heritage Site in 1994. Peruvian newspaper Peru 21 reported that Peru's public ministry planned to punish Flores with 9 months of preventive detention and a fine of about $1,550, but a judge on Tuesday concluded there wasn't sufficient evidence to indicate the driver acted with intent. However, this isn't the first time people have damaged the site. In 2014, Greenpeace activists planted a message on the site in advance of UN climate talks in Lima, leaving footprints all over the protected area. More stories about people ruining historical artsy things. Lawyer kicks out date, so she ruins $300,000 worth of his art. A tipsy Dallas woman on a first date with some douchey Houston trial lawyer went on a rampage and destroyed at least $300,000 worth of his art collection. Lindy Lou Lehman was arrested on Saturday on criminal mischief charges after her date with Anthony Busby ended not so well. Busby claims Lehman got too blasted on their date, so after he took her to his house, he called her an Uber. So why'd he take her to his McMansion in the first place? Apparently, Lehman refused to leave and played a game of hide and seek. After being found, Busby called a second Uber. That's when Lehman apparently went bananas and tore down several paintings, including 2 Andy Warhol works together worth a cool mil, and poured red wine over some of them too. She also tossed around a couple of $20,000 sculptures and introduced them to the floor. Guess that's what happens when you're named Busby. You get stung.
She might want to improve her selfie game. This woman will probably think twice before she snaps selfies in the future, since when she did so last Thursday in a Los Angeles art gallery, the result was $200,000 in damages. The woman was viewing an installation called Hypercane, which was a collaboration between Hong Kong artist Simon Birch and other artists including Gabriel Chan, Jacob Blitzer, and Gloria Yu. Prior to the incident, CCTV footage showed visitors carefully admiring and walking around a room decorated with dozens of rectangular pedestals holding sculpted crowns and other headpieces. Then came the clumsy visitor and her friend. Her friend used an actual camera to photograph the wondrous works. Meanwhile, the clumsy one decided to squat down and snap her selfie, which led to her falling backward into one of the displays, turning the entire exhibition into a game of dominoes. Yikes! After wrecking much of the exhibition, the bumbling visitor actually remained calm and even put one headpiece back onto its pedestal. According to the exhibition's marketing team, 3 of the sculptures were permanently damaged and others to varying degrees. Factoring in the artist's work time, potential art sales lost, and the repair costs, the estimated damage came out to a total bill of $200,000. Some had speculated the incident was a stunt, but the exhibition confirmed to Fox News that the accident was real and explained it would be irrational for the artists to damage their own work in the hopes of gaining more fame. The art show is already back on display, with one change. Visitors can no longer walk between the rows of art pieces, though photography is still encouraged. Parenting fail. An ordinary day at a museum in the UK went horribly wrong when a family's failed photo op damaged an 800-year-old coffin. According to the BBC, on August 4th, a family was visiting Pretty-Well Priory Museum in Southend-on-Sea. Hoping to snap a morbid photo, the parents reportedly reached over an exhibit barrier to put their child inside an 800-year-old ancient sandstone coffin. You know this isn't gonna end well. Here's some quick facts about the stone coffin. It was found on the grounds of the monk's residence in 1921 and has been displayed at the Pretty-Well Priory Museum ever since. It used to contain a skeleton that the museum says could have belonged to a senior monk, so arguably it's a valuable artifact. Well, in the process of picture taken, the offending family managed to knock a chunk off of the sarcophagus. Fantastic. They didn't say a word and fled the scene, but were caught on the museum's surveillance cameras. In response to the photo op incident, Pretty-Well Priory Museum's conservator Claire Reed said the staff was shocked and upset, but added that the damage was repairable. The museum said they didn't expect people to actually get into the artifacts, and they plan to completely enclose the stone coffin in the future.
$1.5 million painting ruined by Taiwanese boy's fall. An exhibition of classic Italian Renaissance paintings in Taipei, Taiwan is getting international attention. Only it's not because of the impressive artwork, but rather the poor protection of the pieces and the clumsiness of a 12-year-old boy who poked a hole in one of the paintings when he tripped over the protective barrier. The boy was visiting Huashan 1914 Creative Park with his mother on Sunday to see the Face of Leonardo, Images of a Genius exhibit. The exhibition poster ironically features a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci that is scratched. The boy was taking a guided tour of the exhibit and stopped to admire a 350-year-old Paolo Porpora oil on canvas painting entitled Flowers. As the group was moving to the next piece in the collection, the boy tripped and broke his fall with the still life. In hindsight, the gallery probably should have put up more protection around the valuable works of art. What were they thinking? But lucky for the boy, the work was insured, and although he was reportedly nervous, he won't have to pay for any damage, which is limited to a fist-sized hole in the canvas. The curator of the exhibition is working on getting the painting restored before it is sent back to Italy. The exhibition features more than 50 paintings dating from the Italian Renaissance through the 20th century.